Do what? I'm sorry. Oh. This is good. Let me start this.
First order of business is to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve minutes.
Do I hear a second? Second.
No, voice vote.
We need a motion. We need a vote.
I agree.
All in favor? Any against? Approved.
Let's move on to the staff.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. The Marketplace project is under construction. They should be hopefully at the first store opening before Christmas. The plan on the 3-week look ahead, we just got Monday, is to have the traffic light going up shortly, probably up by December 11th, assuming they don't have any other hitches with the weather like we provided. And they started the extension to the north for additional future phase. They want to get it in while they got all the blasting company and all that stuff here. And both the Taco Bell and the scooters are obviously visible and above ground. We anticipate the Price Chopper and the Porter's Ace Hardware starting their pad work in the next week or so. So their goal is to both be open for the first holiday, first summer holiday. So we'll see on that. Construction is going on all over town. The RV storage facility has a lane drop going in so they can get their entrance poured. Commercial still under construction to the south. Commercial sidewalk project that's been going on now for about 60 days. Amory Road project is supposed to start this week. The weather doesn't help, but they're going to go ahead and get started as soon as possible, from what I understand. Their first bits of the wall that they'll be constructing are supposed to be delivered next week, so that's moving forward as well. That's all I think off the top of my head we've got going on right now.
Okay.
Permits.
The end of the year, we had forgot to look it up.
I didn't look it up this morning, so.
Yeah, from I would say we're in the 40 range.
Yeah.
45-ish.
Yeah.
Residential.
Yeah, residential. That'd be my estimate. We can run a report.
Yeah, I can run the report tomorrow and get that number to
We
you.
can send you out the exact details.
Mayor always asks me at the older meeting.
We'll get that data for you. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, 30s-ish.
I would say we're in the 40s because we've had several dropped off this last week or two.
Not 190 like last year.
No, unfortunately not.
We have had 4 subdivisions in the last year coming up soon. So as soon as those are complete, we'll have lots for them. There are no, as far as I can tell, there are no existing lots that have not already been purchased by a builder in any of our subdivisions in the entire city.
The new phase of Greyhawk, Tim said that he was going to be dropping off 3 tomorrow or next week, so.
Yep, so we've got another one get ready to come online. As soon as they get that recorded, they'll be proceeding. They've got everything in place to get that recorded. It's only 18 lots of that first half of the phase that they're doing. The remaining 42 will be in the spring when they get that paved, I would imagine. So once those lots come online, they'll be rolling. Eagle Ridge, by the high school, same thing, it's under construction. It'll be springtime before they get the roads blacked out, ready to go. So Eagle Heights up north, they've got to finish, they're going there, the plat that's already moved here. The design of all of the utilities, stormwater, is still in engineering review. As soon as that's done, and they get a certification from our engineers that they have substantially complied with the approved preliminary plat, we'll take that to the board so we can file the first and start construction. New lots will need new construction, but right now we're out.
How many, do we have commercial permit numbers?
5.
4 or 5, yeah.
5.
I don't write it down, so you guys do.
That's a new construction.
Yeah.
Of new stuff, we've got an addition that's about ready to start, shoreline, site plans are being approved. It's more than doubling the size of that business.
Shoreline?
Shorelines. They haven't pulled their permit yet. Neither is the wedding venue, but they're already working on infrastructure issues, but they don't have the actual building permit, they got a grading permit.
Is there an anticipated finish date for the wedding venue?
Sometime after they start, that's what I'm waiting for. I need to see the permit, and that'll give me an idea how long it's gonna take them, once we see the permit out.
You know, they were there this weekend, and they're really trying to put it for next fall, but their website's live now, so it's a good start.
Once they get the thing under construction, we'll be able to have a better idea of how long it's gonna take them, but we haven't seen the actual official stamp plans yet.
Any other questions for staff?
FYI, one item on the agenda, lastly, we will, after further consultations with the applicant, item number 8, we're going to table it, pull it until the December meeting, so a couple of additional engineering issues related to stormwater can be addressed. The rezoning will be on to proceed to go from all 4 of the different options that are out there, currently down to just the AR. That will still stay on the agenda.
Okay. All right, now let's move to the commission elections. Do you, Mr. Mayor, handle that?
No, you're just in the chair.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I would like to nominate Brad Smith for chair.
Okay.
Second.
All right.
First and foremost, you accept the nomination.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else have any other nominations?
Yes, I would like to nominate Carmen Xavier as a vice chair.
Sorry, any other nominations for president?
Oh, sorry, jumping the gun here.
For chair?
The nominations, then let's move to vice chair.
No, we need to.
Yeah, we have to do
Okay.
Yep. All right, Connor?
Aye.
Alderman Sarver?
Aye.
Carmen?
Yes.
Deb?
Aye.
Mayor Boley?
Yes.
Rand?
Aye.
Abstain.
So now you are the official new chairman for the next year, and now we need to call for nominations for vice chair.
Okay, thank you for your patience with this new chair. Steve?
I'd like to nominate Connor Samanis for vice chair. Second.
Accept.
Okay.
Any other nominations?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Carmen Xavier for vice chair.
Mr. Chairman, I respectfully decline that. Thank you so much.
Okay.
It's quite an honor.
So, now we vote.
No more out there.
Anyone else?
Okay. Deb?
Aye.
Mayor Boley?
Aye.
Connor?
I abstain.
Alderman Sarver?
Aye.
Carmen?
Aye.
Rand?
Aye.
5-0.
Okay, nominations for secretary.
I nominate Carmen Xavier for secretary.
I accept.
Any other nominations?
All right. Carmen?
Yes.
Alderman Sarver?
Aye.
Connor?
Aye.
Mayor Boley?
Aye.
Deb?
Aye.
Rand?
Aye.
5-0.
See if you don't have to sign documents anymore.
He was there, doesn't he? let's move to the next item on the agenda, preliminary plat, Diamond Creek revised for 60-lot subdivision.
If you may recall, this item was on the agenda in August for this commission for a 40-lot subdivision. Recommendation of approval from here. Went to the board of aldermen at the board meeting. There was a request that the matter be sent back to the planning commission after a traffic study was completed. They also had concerns with the access to the streets with just one, or to the existing streets with just one entrance. As a result of that, the applicant has done two things. One is provided a traffic study, and they have extended the subdivision to the south and connected with Fourth Terrace to have two entrances. That's their proposed revision. Nearly everything else stays the same. You've seen the staff report.
At this point, we open up the public hearing.
Open up the public hearing, yes, sir.
Okay.
3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Do you have cards for this?
I do. Brian McDonald.
Okay. Brian, some of us know your name, state your name and your address.
You want to say it again?
Yes.
Congratulations on you just got like I'm Brian McDonald. I used to live on 6th Street, so where that first entrance is. Definitely appreciate, the applicants going back and revising the plan for the second entrance. I have 10, so I live in that house right now with little kids. So, reducing that traffic was important. My concern now would be the drainage. I know that was part of it, but where that entrance, that first original entrance is located, it's literally at the bottom of the hill here and the bottom of the hill here. So I mean, the principles of gravity tell you that when it rains, that's kind of a swamp. I'm not sure how that's going to be addressed, but the yard that's in front of my property, on my property, I mean, that's impassable for days, if not weeks, during the wet season. We get a lot of rain down there, it's bad. So I'd like to understand how that's going to be addressed.
Yeah. As we had indicated in the last one, they got to do a traffic or a stormwater survey with the construction site to identify where the water will actually go. The engineer for the applicant has indicated their plan is to lower the road going east of your property so that when it goes out, there'll be a drain that runs on the east side of it. That's,
As long as, my biggest concern is that it's going to continue to flood, and now you have flood roads, flood grass.
yeah, and ultimately, that's what the stormwater engineering will do when they do that. Whatever structures they have to construct will be part of that.
My next question is, how does that impact on the property?
I'm not certain I would be able to answer that. They won't be on your property constructing anything. Whatever they construct will be in the right of way or through an easement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Who else do we have?
Shannon McCown.
I decline.
Okay. Christine Henson.
And Christine Hinson, I live at 713 Benson Knoll Lane, and my property backs up to this lots that they're wanting to develop. I realize I didn't get the survey, so I apologize I didn't pick that up. My only question is, will this also include the entrance off of Spillman onto 6th Street? Or will they be analyzing that entrance as well? Like its current state, I don't think it's starting to weather away.
Well, here's what the traffic study, it did Maple, 6th Street, 5th, and 4th. All of those were evaluated. The only thing that still is in the staff recommendation for approval is that the culvert at Spelman and 6th get completely replaced. The study for the low spot for this gentleman be incorporated into the stormwater study. And then the 4th Street, or 4th Terrace tie-in stuff It's phase 2, so when it occurs, they'll have to do all the same things for all of those as well.
That was my question, was the entrance on the stall and fix. Thank you.
Terry Brown.
My name's Terry Brown, I live at 609 Stone Drive. How long is it between phase 1 and phase 2 that you're talking about these entrances? No labor will have to deal with phase 1 for however long it comes up 6th Street. Until they open the other entrance, will that traffic out that way?
Yes.
So we're still looking at 8,200 cars.
Whatever the traffic study called for.
I don't think that's what you're adding, you know, like those houses, so I was just curious. And is there, what's the floodplain which on that map there, how far up is that down towards that 4th Street? But I haven't seen how this one lays out completely.
Yeah, the floodplain is substantially away from all of this. It's down the hill on this applicant's property.
So we could move on down below 4th Street, but we can sit there and solve the whole issue and come out below those houses too.
It just moved the problem from your neighborhood to
Well, we're just trying to, so one time people in the hills, like management of 6th Street, trying to get in town. Wouldn't have church or the city, trying to go all pieces extending out, people in and out of that curve. And the radar you all put up, I mean, it was a good thought, but once they cleared the radar, they just, right by my house, like shot, so they run the curve, so. I know the traffic study's only as good as the people involved, but once they move around, they just keep going, so. Appreciate your time now.
That's it.
Mr. Chairman, hang on just a second, Mr. Chairman. Since it is a public hearing, you do need to ask if anybody out there has signed up that would like to speak.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here that would like to speak? Okay, then we will close the public hearing.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
along that line, there is a copy of a handwritten letter from Ruth Davison dated November 12th, 2019, not knowing the protocol of this planning commission. Is this a matter of record now, or do people have to be in attendance for their input to be?
Missouri law is not clear on the subject.
Uh-huh.
She requested this afternoon to have it presented to you, so we presented it.
So as a courtesy and a matter of record, this will be put into.
It's a part of the official file, absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
That's why we want to do all that. She came in this afternoon, so for the copy, we provided it to you.
Thank you.
Sure.
That satisfy your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. Then we will close the public hearing now. Do I hear a motion to approve this preliminary plat?
So moved.
Second.
We'll have a
Yeah, discussion.
What is the second? Second. By the way, before we discuss, I want to welcome Dennis here. This is your first meeting on the playground. Okay, let's have a discussion about this now. What questions do you have? What points would you like to raise?
Would I be wrong in assuming that this is all the i's are dotted and the t's are crossed on this? We had a couple of concerns from the public, and it appears that all of those have been answered nicely, actually.
And ultimately, the board kicked it back, after this was approved in August, the board had concerns with traffic,
Yeah.
that it wasn't answered, so applicant submitted, and the GBA document is that study. On page 4, it lists the recommendations. I did not provide you all of the background exhibits on there. If you want to see it, it tells you each traffic count that they did when they set up all the traffic counts at all 4 intersections, what was left, what was right. These engineering studies generally focus on what's called the peak morning and peak evening traffic times. It's a 1 hour period where the most traffic will ever go through that intersection, and then the intersections need to be designed for the most traffic, not the average, whatever. It's when they are absolutely busy. So that's what this study purports to identify specifically. I don't know how engineers do it, but there's some book they use, they cite it in here as well. And as a result, they make summary conclusions on page 4 that no additional construction needs to occur. They meet all this traffic warrants. They used, from what I understand, the MoDOT warrants, because that highway was originally a state highway until just about a year ago. So that's why they use those warrants. They're higher than the standard ADWA warrants. Warrants meaning, does the traffic level warrant an improvement? So MoDOT calls them warrants. In this, no warrants.
Well, Mr. Hendricks, kudos to you, man. You did a great job answering questions and soothing the public's concern. Thank you so much for what you've done.
Okay. Other discussion items? Seeing none, then, well,
All right, Deb? Mayor Boley?
Aye.
Dennis? Carmen? Alderman Sarver? Connor? Rand?
I,
7-0.
This item will be on the 19th agenda, next Tuesday night here for the Board of Aldermen to review the recommendation from this commission again. They will also be provided a copy of the traffic study document, and we'll go from there. If approved at the board level, it will authorize the applicant to then start all the construction plan stuff, and that review will occur by our engineers.
We have one reading or two of this.
One, it's a preliminary plat. All this will allow them to do is actually do the expensive work and have all the construction plans drawn up for the road, all the studies for the stormwater, as to the size and all the infrastructure that may or may not need to be there. So,
All right. Well, I anticipate seeing some of you on Tuesday. Other than Steve.
Steve will be there too.
yes.
Steve will be there.
Would be counted, okay, I do it.
Yes.
Okay, let's move to the next item here, preliminary plat, first part, industrial development.
There's a couple of questions that were asked of me earlier, and I wanted to clarify. You have two different copies. The one with the extra rows is the version that was approved by the planning commission in 2013. For the layout, it had 18 lots in the 57 or whatever, 63 acres, I don't remember off the top of my head. It was a slight revision over the one that was approved in 2000. But neither of them ultimately moved to development. There are potential customers now. The developer needed to make some adjustments because the lot sizes in the original plat are way too small for what they're wanting to buy. So ultimately, they redesigned it, and it's this truncated version with larger lots. 11 lots on the same piece of ground. In the staff report, you will note that there's one recommendation that they follow they make adjustments in accordance with the engineer's letter dated November 11th, which basically moves the south portion of the road, what is now called Industrial Drive, to the west, so that it lines up just outside of the existing property line. If you look at the south end where it's got future commercial, it's centered roughly over the property line to the properties to the south. We want it to line up with Center Street south of there, so that we eventually will have a parallel street, north-south street, that segregates some of the traffic for 169. 169 is only going to get more crowded until we get another north-south street that allows us to go all the way through town. This will be one of those options. So that's the only condition in the report that you all have seen first.
Okay, let's open up a public hearing on this matter. Do we have anyone
applicants here if you have questions as well.
Okay.
For or against?
I move
I had a couple of phone calls this morning, I assumed they were coming to that.
Mr.
to
Mayor?
answer my questions.
Oh, okay.
I move to approve the preliminary plat for First Park Industrial and Development of lots.
Do you have a second? Steve, second.
Second.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, just out of curiosity, I'm comparing the original and the 11 lot map now. That is a tremendous change. Where the lot,
We haven't mentioned since once a 10-acre parcel, it's going to be a fairly large employer, fairly large building. So that's what that 10-acre parcel is.
That lot 17 is the original driver behind the requested adjustment.
okay,
There would be-
Lot 18 is also tentatively, potentially spoken for as well, another larger lot, 5 acres. For
so was the market flat that, was-
Things have changed in the last year and a half, 2 years. We
Yeah.
have 5 commercial permits that are active. Prior to that, for new commercial building, the last one was the Dollar General 4 years ago.
investors getting nervous?
Ultimately, I think it's, the market's reached a point for retail to come, and as that starts moving, so does everything else.
Okay, thank you.
So,
What exciting do you think about potential job and so forth? What discussion do we have? Discussion?
no further discussion.
Further discussion? Let's call for a vote then.
Okay. All right,
We're good.
Or we have a
Yep.
motion, and I think it's a second.
Yep. all right. Connor.
Aye.
Alderman Sarver.
Aye.
Carmen.
Aye.
Dennis. Mayor Boley.
Aye.
Deb. Rand.
Aye.
7-0.
Okay, let's go to zoning.
FYI, this one will also be on the next Board of Alderman agenda as a resolution for approval. If that's been approved, then we'll be able to come forward with construction plans, get those through our engineer, approved, and then the final plat will be approved by the Board of Alderman. If that happens, I anticipate to see some stuff short, from what I understand.
Okay. Let's open our public hearing on this matter then. Do we have any?
Yep. Chuck Baker.
Hi, I'm Chuck Baker, I live at 409 Northeast 124th Street. That is.
Yep.
The question is with this AR zoning designation, we have cattle and horses and everything. There's limits on the AR that we didn't have before when we were ruled. How's that going to affect us? And actually, do you really need to change the zoning on the south side of the street of 144th? Can it not remain the same?
Yeah, there is no change to the south. This is only the parcel to the north. 300 Northeast 144th.
Okay.
This is land that's already owned by, it's owned by the applicant owner.
It's a 63-acre parcel that
Okay,
abuts to the...
so we retain our own,
Absolutely.
our own zoning there.
Yeah, nothing, no impact to yours.
Well, thank you so much.
That's a big smile on your face here.
Yeah.
Who else do we have?
Doug Orton.
Doug Orton, 1,000 Northeast 145th Terrace. I was in front of you guys, well, some of you, I guess, maybe 2 years ago, talking about the same issue I'm going to talk about tonight. And that is the amount of water that's coming down toward our property. 15 to 20 years ago, when the Hills of Shannon was developed, we had one road to we put in a second road tube. And now those 2 tubes are still not holding, so there is more water coming out of the creek towards us. It often blows out our road tube, I think we bought a skid steer just to take care of it. But every little bit, every house they put up, our insurance tells me, causes about 240,000 gallons of water of runoff. So, I'm excited about development in Smithville. New restaurants coming and all these nice things, but what I see is more water coming. And there's some days that we can't even get to our house. It's impossible. We have to wait, go out to dinner. My wife went out to dinner a couple extra times, simply put, because we cannot get to our house because there's so much water coming down on us now. And I'd like to see the city do something about this. I'm a farmer, so I'm familiar with a little bit of water control terraces. We call them bridles, I believe we call them basins here in the city. But, the development across the road now on 169, it all comes to me. All that storage stuff that's going in there, all that's all coming towards us. And I have a lot of concerns. It's already bad. It's only going to get worse. And I'm not no engineer. But I do know we went from 1 road tube to 2 road tubes, and now 2 road tubes are not holding. I got a 30-acre bottom piece that this year set idle because there's too much flood water on it. And I do understand it was a wet year, and that was certainly part of it, but we were unable to farm that piece this year. So that's one concern, a very big concern for me. And I've talked to the developer about it. I talked last year in front of you guys about it. 2017, I believe it was. Yes, April 13, 2017. And, something has to be done. It's not right to put all the water down on us. And my second concern is on 144th, over the past 2 or 3 years, we've been told that they will chip seal that road. Roads constantly in dismay, especially since the trash trucks are coming down there now. They're really cutting in that road. And when they put these extra 7 lots in, that's at least 2 more vehicles per house. That's that much more dust. That's that much more wear and tear on the road. And my daughter has a small car, and the road is impassable for her, just 144th, not her private drive, 144th, because her little bitty car sits so close to the ground. Sometimes it gets so bad on the road that she can't even go up and down the road. Now, we have trucks and that kind of stuff, it's not a problem. So that's my concern. Thank you.
Jack, do you have any comments on water issue?
No, well, I'll make a comment. A lot of the comments are things that the Board of Aldermen need to hear, not the planning and zoning. So if you could bring that to the Board of Aldermen, it would be...
We spoke to her on it.
Speaking of Aldermen, I understand, public comment at the Board of Aldermen, that's who's making the decisions on budget for water and streets and those things. This board does not make those decisions or recommendations. So their recommendation on this is to the rezoning of this property. That's the authority of this board. They don't have any authority over what roads go in, what gets chip and sealed.
Well, I would say the more concern I have is about the water, and that's about the rezoning from agriculture to residential and the infrastructure that supports the water, should be taking care of the water.
Well, the current plan allows them to put in 183 houses without doing any changes today.
That's the current development.
Yeah. So rezoning this from 183 houses to 7 houses should significantly reduce the amount of.
I agree. But it doesn't stop there or correct the problem. The problem's already there.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If it's an existing problem, that needs to come to the Board of Aldermen so we can look at it as taking it out as part of our stormwater management plan.
Those 7 new lots are going to create more, so they are creating more. Would you agree?
I'm not an engineer, and like I said, it needs to come to the Board of Aldermen, but I guarantee you 183 houses will give you more issues than some.
Oh, I agree.
Today, if you go out to 180 houses, they won't. The way it stands. So rezoning it, I think, is the correct way for us to go. That's
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Anyone else?
Charles Amos.
I'm Charles Amos, and I'm from
419 Camargue Lane in the hills of Shannon. And are we talking about Wilkinson Creek now? Oh, okay. I'm following, trying. Anyway, my comment is I'm concerned. I just bought this place and my back faces the pond, and across the pond is the new development that's coming in. My concern is not the homes themselves, but who's going to take care of the natural waterway that's coming around right behind us? Who's going to take care that we have a steady beauty here that the city so much desires? This is my concerns with locating this subdivision. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
That's all.
Anyone else? That's it. Okay.
It's public hearing, so we ask if anybody still wants to talk to they sign up to that.
Anyone else? Yes.
Heidi Norton, Doug Orton's wife, 1,000 Northeast, 45th Terrace. I just wanted to add, he did mention that we were here 2 years ago, expressed concerns about the storm water drainage and the runoff, and we were told at that time, and these are in the minutes, so yes, thank you guys, that the city would be required to meet stormwater standards, that the standards were very strict, and that this would be handled in the development process. So I think what we're looking at, and I don't know who has the answer to this, proof of such, that the standards were looked at so that we can be assured, because all we're hearing is, it just looks like you guys make these decisions, and then they're going on to, it goes on to the next level, which is the city council. So it should be a concern of yours if we're bringing it up in the hearing, and it just seems like these same concerns are echoed in some of the other minutes I've read from previous meetings with other developments. The storm water runoff is a real concern, and so I think everybody would like to see what's going to be done. It just seems like it gets swept under the rug and it's on to getting approved here and then on to the council. So just wanted to bring that up because I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we'll close the public hearing then. And anybody else want to?
Yeah, I move to approve rezoning 300 Northeast 144th Street from R1B and R2 as one of us fulfilling to AR.
Is there a second?
So, again, this is a rezoning, it's not our file, it's not engineering, it's not final approval. It doesn't fit the town plan for us to have AR in this area, correct?
Yes, the comprehensive plan calls this general vicinity and this parcel in specific to be low-density residential, which is no more than 3 houses per acre. In this case, you have 1 per 7 acres minimum. I think the average, there's a 7.6 to a 10.56 acre in the proposed 7 lots. But ultimately, since this is zoning, the density of the housing is such that the minimum lot size in AR is 2 acres with sewer, 3 acres without. So the density is taken care of certainly with it. If you recall, as the mayor mentioned earlier, the development plan for Hills of Shannon included coming all the way around in this land, this lot, or this area, which is where the development, the preliminary plats, similar to the other preliminary plats, it included 185 lots, or in this, this acreage. So, as it relates to that, the density is, that even 185 lots on 63 acres means the 3.
Other points of discussion?
No, just for everyone in the audience, everyone on the board, we take stormwater management very seriously. We have made moves in the last year, the board and I and staff to budget for a public works director. And one of their main focuses is going to be our stormwater, our streets, and other issues. So, unfortunately, most of us were here in 2017. probably only Steve and Rand. Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes we have to, it takes a while because our budget is approved in November, so we hear concerns, it takes longer than a few weeks to address this. So we had to find the money to be able to pay for a public works director. We found an applicant. They start January. They're an engineer, so we'll have an engineer in-house, which we haven't had forever. Great. So we'll have an engineer who has worked in this region for 30 plus years. He went to the University of Missouri Raw, and if anyone's familiar with Raw, they spend a lot of time on stormwater engineering out there. We know it's an issue in the city that we have to be concerned about. Corps of Engineers built us a dam and get those concerns years ago. So that person should start, and this is rezoning, this isn't the plat, this isn't the engineering. All that'll be reviewed during the end, but.
Yeah, the plat, Mr. Mayor, the plat was the portion that we tabled for the stormwater issues that we wanted to get better resolved.
Right, and for public works as well, he's Board of Alderman and has directed staff to draft ballot language for the April election. For the primary, it's only allowed to be used for 2 reasons, and the only reasons allowed by that stormwater and parks tax is parks and stormwater. So that'll be on the ballot as well. So citizens can express their concern positively or negatively for that ballot issue, however they decide to look at it. But we are serious enough about it, we're going to put on the ballot, we're going to vote as well to put additional money into those resources. So, sorry that wasn't addressed in the past, but we're doing as much as we can to address it now.
I think the mayor's comments were excellent, because the question I was going to ask you, if there was any place in our universe where we could go to stormwater, look it up, 33-1, and it sounds like that our community should be proud of the efforts to recover ourselves from pumping that's been lacking, because the lady and the gentleman that talked here, you made an impression on me. Stormwater is a very, very important issue to address, and I'm glad that the city and the mayor and the alderman are looking to that, and to voters eventually, it sounds like, for a ballot issue. So, yeah, it's coming.
April 2020.
Very good.
On the ballot.
April 2020.
Up for further.
Yes. And I'm done now, thank you, Mayor.
I would hate for any of our citizens to think that something's being swept under the carpet, so I, for one, be glad to hear that these things are going forward. I hope you go to the Alderman meeting too.
If I may clarify, part of that is because, as a non-engineer, it's really doggone hard for me to explain these engineering concepts that I don't know that work well to our citizens. As the mayor indicated, Chuck, the new Public Works Director, will hopefully be able to address some of those issues. Part of it's an educational process. I know nationally, all the stormwater engineers out there are trying to reevaluate the additional rainfall amounts that we're getting. If you've heard the 10-year flood, 100-year flood, all those floods, when you start having 100 and 500-year floods 3 or 4 times a year, 3 or 4 times in a decade, the calculations in the books that they use when they do these studies probably need to be addressed, and they're evaluating those nationally as an entity. The stormwater engineers are, because it's raining more than it has in the past, we're getting more water, and the design levels that we have aren't working.
Okay. Just for public awareness, I sit on a committee for the state that's setting those policy recommendations to our legislators at the state level. And I also sit on one of the region that we work in the 9 counties across Missouri and Kansas that makes up the Kansas City Metro. So personally, it's something that I'm working on more than anyone who's sat in this seat before for the city of Smithville, because we are in a floodplain. Parks are in a floodway. I take stormwater very seriously, so we're going to look at it in depth. And we're putting our money on it with hiring an engineer to look at our stuff.
Give us the answers.
Any other questions? Any other comments? Any other questions? Any other comments? 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 Any other comments
Deb? Mayor Boley?
Aye.
Dennis? Connor?
Aye.
Alderman Sarver? Carmen? Rand? 7-0.
You need official motion to table this at this point?
Yes, it would be best just to have a motion to postpone, not postpone.
Chairman, I move that we table a single-phase final plat space, Wilkerson Creek, 7 lots.
Postpone or table?
Either if we postpone it or table it, it needs to be opened at the next agenda for December. We should have all the answers well in advance of that.
Second.
Carmen?
Yes.
Alderman Sarver? Connor?
Aye.
Deb? Mayor Boley?
Aye.
Dennis? Rand? 7-0.
Okay, that concludes that matter. We have public comments. We have,
On any one of them, what was on the agenda, we open it up for that.
we have anyone,
Randy?
Oh,
I'm going to adjourn.
Mr. Seth, no.
Yeah.
I still have something.
Oh.
I'm wondering if you would kindly draw up a list of contact numbers of the zoning commission so that we're able to contact one another, email and phone number, if you could do that.
okay, yes,
Thank you so much.
I
yep.
think it's on the website as well.
Not all of these things.
But yeah, I'll get phone numbers.
Yeah, and typically it's best to go through your jack on that, just so we make sure we stay good on sunshine.
We don't get an open scenario
Yeah.
where
Well, Jack, could you get us a list? I mean, I would like to talk to someone, on particular, I have not known Sunshine, throwing shade on Sunshine is just a nice thing to have.
And as you may recall from our October 1st session with the attorney, having those conversations is perfectly authorized. The best place to do that is in this room, at here, so that there is no concern from the public that the discussion is occurring out there here. A deal gets worked out between two or whatever. So if you want to have those discussions, you can certainly send them to me, we can have those discussions, I can give you staff recommendations, but if it's a discussion between two commissioners, that discussion is what the discussion period is here for. If that makes sense. So
It
it's,
makes sense, but it seems like it's terribly confining. I mean, are we following the law here?
yeah, that's why it's very difficult, because that is how you follow the law.
I would like to talk to Rand about a new pair of glasses.
No, perfectly fine, you can do that anytime you want. If you want to talk about anything has been in here, or comes in here, is coming in here, then it needs to occur in here, to be the open.
So it's a topic, it's just something.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Your Rand's got a lot of business cards, so we get that.
Yes.
thank you for that, right?
Yeah, but if that is the scenario, certainly, we can get that. When you get your email, you already have their emails, because the email from us has everybody's email on it, except for the last one, didn't have Mr. Cathcart's. I apologize, I didn't have it.
Okay, so do I get it or not?
Yeah, if you want to, yes, if you already got their emails, you got all the emails already, I can get you all of them.
Phone numbers.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mr.
I
McDonald.
just have a question. The ballot reference that you mentioned, is there information available on that now? Is that?
Yeah, we're drafting language now, we discussed it last Board of Alderman meeting, but the language is going to follow similar to what Odessa, Missouri has, which is half cent sales tax for parcel stormwater determined by a board this year on how that is budgeted. So, did I get that right?
Yes, yes.
Any other public comment?